Hey guys, so this is another combo video. This time is for blue. Remember, in cheat to play, free to play, and high level play, every single one of them have different combination, different combos, so it's impossible for me to talk about every single one that is out there. But I'll do my best to talk about these and the ones that I think that can help you out the best here. So let's get started. First of all, we're going to talk about Antia. Antia, yes. If you've been playing this game, you know that ever since from the beginning up until the end, she has been a must-have through and through, healing and all that. So very important hero to have in your team. However, in combinations, usually you can use her on an anti-team. Usually would be looking like this. Let me do it like this. And then classic combination would be like this. So right now you'll be seeing like let's see how much that's 30% mana gain with these four heroes right off the bat. So that's gonna help you actually go through and do a bunch of things a lot more, and especially in campaign. This combination right here you're seeing, a lot of people used to use it in campaign. It would have destroyed campaign back then. Blue's combination is just so powerful, and it really works in the situation. However, Antia, you can pretty much put her in any blue team, but combinations that I've noticed that have worked very well with her, specifically, it would be with Palmyra. I make so many blue teams that I can't even count them. But in the end, every single time, these two gals stay alive and they finish the fight. That's just how great this combination, these two right off the bat. Palmyra will survive, she will heal her, and yeah, it's an incredible combination here, for sure. However, on defense, the number one combination for them, as you should definitely know this, it's with Mildred and Palmyra for sure. So this combination right here on defense is the nightmare for many players. Luckily, we do have new ways to deal with this team, even a +0 with Molly, but yeah, this this combination will be your nightmare for a very long time, guys. So yeah, in that situation. So, and the thing is with Antia is, in general, she is such a good hero that you can put it in every single team that is blue. But there is another team that you have to have her, no questions asked, and it's in the Infinite team. In the Infinite team, my favorite Infinite team would be like this. And I'll probably, if I'm feeling frisky, I'll probably use Fiona as well to get extra stones here. And put her over here. And then Alden, where are you all? Here we go. And then Haito. It would be like this. Obviously not with these weapons, but yeah, that would be my Infinite team for choice, because so many stones. It's incredible, but there's so many combinations for the Infinite team. But without Antia, this team will crumble, because you need the heals and you need the stones. So yeah, you have to have her in that situation there for sure. There's definitely a few more combinations there, but it's pretty much in general you can actually use with Antia. Antia is she's like a glue that puts together so many things in the game for sure. Now, the next time we're going to talk about is my boy, Jokool. My god, Jokool is so powerful, guys. And now you're able to +5 him, so there's no excuse to not use this guy and upgrade him at +5. +5, he's an absolute monster. So, for combinations for him, it's pretty straightforward. You have him, you break the shield, and you bring in a hero that does a bunch of damage. That'll be this guy over here. You can actually bring this guy over here. Pretty straightforward. However, if you want to make Jokool the hero that actually does the insane amount of damage, you can bring in a buffer like this guy over here. She's amazing. Making this guy go off is disgusting. If you want to actually do even more damage, you can bring in Gwendolyn +5, and this guy with a crit weapon is absolutely disgusting. Yeah, it's an absolute monstrosity, because this guy's gonna get a bunch of crit, and she's gonna give him a crit and crit damage on top of that, and yeah, that is a really powerful combination there. But his main use is going to be breaking shields and making sure that the damage that you're going to do is actually higher than what otherwise uses. So he's a very good hero to actually use as the premier shield breaker of blue here. So the next one, and one of my favorite heroes for sure, is Luna. Luna, you can use her in so many ways. It's not even funny. She's another must-have hero. You have to have this gal for sure. So let's see. For the attack, there's a few teams for the attack. Her with the new hero. I'm going to talk about her a little later in that situation. So yeah, her and on the attack with the new hero. I'm going to put it here actually. Here we go. These two on the attack, I've seen very good results with both of them. It's incredible. So giving protection, damage share, and the counters from her, it's pretty impressive. Very, very powerful stuff, guys. And in other words, in the attack, I've seen her with the Daemon team. This is an excellent combination for the Daemon team here. Let me show you. If you're gonna use Malfoy, you have to have his weapon at +3. And Palmyra. This is the my favorite Daemon variation of the Daemon team, because you're gonna get the dispels and shields, and also here when they start attacking, they're gonna start missing, and they're gonna start missing, and they're gonna start getting damage on their own, which is a really good combination here. Obviously not with these weapons, guys, but yeah, make sure to every single one of these have a shield weapon. So yeah, this is a very powerful one. And on defense, usually you just build in the Luna team per se. Some people I've seen using the new hero as well with her in that situation. However, the main one is definitely her own team, which is something that looks like this. Maybe Elmist over here. And that's pretty much the base for this team. Usually I like to put Malfoy here. He's a good hero to put here. Another hero you can actually put here is Valerie. Valerie's pretty good in this combination here. So yeah, usually, yeah, it's pretty straightforward. But you make sure that when you put Luna on defense, you make sure you have her at least at +1. Her +1 changes her so much. She does more damage. She dodges a lot more. And if you add in more Idrin heroes, that's gonna raise your dodge to 20% when you do it for 3. You can do 2, but it's better to have 3 Idrin heroes so you can get that sweet 20%. So it can actually stack with all the other stuff that you're doing here with Luna for sure. So next here we're gonna talk about is Deedlight. Deedlight is an amazing hero, straight and through and through, guys. Ever since he was released, it's been used so many different ways. He is his own combo at his own right, because when you bring him on the attack, you're going to activate him once every single turn, and that's going to give shields to the entire team. So any combo you use here, it's going to work with him. However, a combo per se, I usually like to put him next to a Gwendolyn that is +5 with his own weapon. In that situation, he does very nice damage. Very impressive stuff, guys. And also with this gal over here, also boosting him and things like that. And usually he's one of the main heroes to use on teams that are based on shields. For example, this guy Haroth, I'm gonna put him here as well. Him and these two together are very powerful with Thor and other heroes, Malfort. Also, I've seen that used pretty nicely. And even on defense, this combination on defense is pretty powerful. Like this on defense, it's pretty freaking disgusting. There's many other combinations that you can actually use, but the thing is that Deedlight is gonna go off every single turn on defense. It's pretty annoying. So when you stack it with other shields on top of that, yeah, that's gonna be pretty disgusting, guys. So yeah, him specifically he's an amazing hero in general. Just on his own, he's his own combo. However, you can make the different combinations with him for sure in that situation. All right, so one of the must-have heroes in the game, and you definitely have to have her as soon as possible, is Palmyra. She is such a great hero. On her own, she does so many things. However, how already explained with Alia, she's pretty good. In different things combinations. The main thing is that sometimes you're gonna use her as your stone weapon holder, but in general, she's she's just that good. On defense, you're usually gonna use her as your dispeller. I recommend putting the dispellers on the left side so she goes off first. In a team that you actually use like a single target, like with Malfoy with his weapon at +3, doing a single target there over and over again with other heroes, let's see. Like this gal over here, she's amazing in this team. Alpha is amazing in this team here, and Palmyra and Idrita here doing single target damage. But the main thing is that as long as you have a good dispel like Palmyra here, you go in and and dispel whatever protection they have, and everyone else comes in and destroys that team. So that's pretty powerful. That's one combination you can think about. However, Palmyra has been used a little bit less and less because they've been silently nerfing her damage, but she is still a very powerful hero. If you want her to do damage, you have to give her her weapon, guys, for sure. That's the downside for her. She doesn't do a lot of damage without her weapon, but outside of that, she is an amazing dispeller. She dies. It's very difficult for her to die in that situation. But yeah, Palmyra, you can put her in any team that is blue or any team that you want to dispel on the attack. So yeah, she's an incredible piece for your team for sure. Now the next one we're going to talk about is this gal over here, Cynthia. Remember that Cynthia, you're able to get her to +5, and once you actually get her to +3, your blue team is going to get a big boost in skill damage by 30%. So once you actually get her to this, you'll be able to use her a lot more efficiently than you would otherwise. So in this combination, you're simply going to activate her first, and then any blue team you have, they're going to do a bunch of damage. Jokul is an amazing hero to have. Deedlight is an amazing hero to actually do in combinations with her. Or you can actually stack up with Gwendolyn here and do even more disgusting damage. It's pretty amazing to watch, guys. So yeah, usually people have stopped using her because of this hero Abigail, because Abigail does do 50% boost to all blue heroes. However, in different situations, Cynthia is better in that respect, but yeah, you can even do it in combination, Abigail and also this hero Cynthia in that situation, so they can actually get that extra boost and always have that boost up, because Abigail, you won't be getting that boost all the time in that situation. So usually like let's see, something like this in the end, shield breaker like this, that'll be nice. So we'll activate like this at here, and then maybe here, and then shield breaking, damage. So this is a nice combination, and if you have the Abigail at +1, you can definitely get the heals, don't worry about that. So next hero is Wanda. Wanda has been pretty much replaced with Abigail, but still, you can still bring her in when you actually need extra damage. Just make sure that your enemy does not have Thor on their team, because yeah, every single little shot that she does, little bullet that she does, and that's gonna be replaced by another shield for Thor. So that's not gonna be good in that situation. But still, as I said, you can still bring her in and do a bunch of damage. However, different combinations. Usually a hero that helps her raise the actual crit and damage that's definitely going to be Gwendolyn +5. That's going to help her a lot for sure. If she has her own weapon in this, and her awakening is going to help her do even more crit damage in that situation. So other combinations, usually I like to combine her also with Steedlight here, because since she hits so many times, it's guaranteed it's going to activate his ability in that situation. But usually the team that you're going to use the most with her is going to be an anti-team, like maybe like this, or even like this. Why not Gwendolyn? So in that situation, you can actually do a lot more damage. She's gonna get a lot more mana gain because remember, she's the slowest hero in the game. Ever since the game was released, she was released as very slow, and the devs have not dared to create another hero that is very slow ever since. So yeah. But yeah, see, in that situation, she's very, very powerful. As long as you, as long as you break shield, she's going to be doing a lot of damage. So that you need to bring your boy Yakul or having your Gwendolyn at least as +3. At +3, her shields are going to be less of a problem for her for sure there. So another hero that is a must-have, in my humble opinion, is this guy over here, Gunov. Gunov at +0 has been a plague in defenses and arena, on war, and for good reason. Even this guy, even at +0, has been an absolute menace everywhere. If you haven't noticed, I think you haven't played the game much. In that situation, but usually I like to use Gunov in this situation like this, like putting heroes on next to him that actually need protection. Like usually I put my Abigail or Gwendolyn next to him. If I have Gwendolyn at +5, I would give him a crit weapon and see the fireworks go flying everywhere. Because yeah, this guy with a crit weapon and getting a buff from Gwendolyn is disgusting. You just have to activate Gwendolyn once, and his counter will literally kill enemies on his own. It's amazing to watch. It's incredible when you have him +5. Remember, his +5 will give him 200% damage dealt, and those counters actually crit. Every single one of them is able to crit, and when they crit, it's disgustingly powerful, guys. Very powerful stuff. Alright, usually like to bring in the Jakul, because you activate Jakul and then you activate him, or vice versa. You reactivate him first to make sure that the immortality debuff is on the enemy, and then you bring in Jakul, another hero, then to actually bring in and destroy an immortality hero. That's usually how I usually use him. It's very effective. But the main thing is that his counter is its own combo in that situation. However, as long as you raise his attack or raise his crit chance, I've seen it on defense next to Gwendolyn. It is absolutely disgusting, guys. It's yeah, pretty crazy stuff. However, there's other combinations, especially on defense. On defense, you can do so many combinations with this guy. Sometimes I've used it like this with the Mildred team, Mildred, and then I would put over here Molly, and here I would put this guy over here. So this team is not meant to actually do a bunch of damage per se. The main thing is that it is resistant to so many teams. Like it's resistant to Belnos, it's resistant to healing, it's resistant to die in general, and countering and things like that. So that's the main thing, that it's going to be a very difficult team to actually break through. So another combination that I saw recently, which I've fallen in love in this situation, is this combination like this. I'd seen it at Summit. So you would bring in Raphael here, and then if I'm not mistaken, it was like this, and then this guy at +5. So this may not seem like a lot, but once this guy, if you have Raphael +5, by the way, if you do it like this, one of the main ways that you actually kill Raphael is with stuns from himself, from Gunov, or from Agony. That usually works because once he's stunned, he doesn't counter. However, when Raphael goes off, he becomes immune to stuns. So there's very few things that can stop in that situation. If he's a very high level, like 280, 300, it's going to be really tough to actually take him out, because this combination here is so powerful. It's pretty disgusting, guys. So if you're able to pull that off, yeah, that's another combination on defense that I've seen. But there's so many combinations with this guy. I'm seeing so many combinations. Did I say he's a must-have? Because he's a must-have, just in case I haven't said it. He's definitely a must-have. I've seen him in combining with Agony. This combination is I don't know why people even Do you hate people so much that you make this combination on defense? And that's the truth. Oh my god. Why would you do that? So a combination like this, Gwendolyn going off, and that's going to give him even more crit. And then if your Agony is pretty powerful with his own weapon, Gwendolyn and this guy, it's one-shotting anybody. And with protection from this guy, it's pretty disgusting, guys. So Gunoff, it has so many combinations on defense. It's impossible for me to talk of every single one of them. But he's a very, very powerful hero to have. So if you have him, upgrade him as much as possible, and watch the fireworks fly for sure. Now Fiona has been replaced by Abigail, sadly. But even if that's the case, you can still use her. The main combination with her is going to be with Alia to produce stones. And remember that when she goes off, she's going to give 20% defense, and I think it's 25%. Yeah, it's 25% attack and defense for all anti-heroes. So you can actually bring in your own Abigail and maybe even activate Fiona first to give that buff to every single anti-hero you have, and after that you start shooting things and things like that. So that's a good way to look at it for Fiona. But if you're a free-to-play or things like that, if you have Fiona and Alia, you're a big step forward to doing a lot of things in the game. Because after that, you can put pretty much any hero on the attack, and it's going to actually help you out beat it a lot for sure. Like Haurek here. Let's see. This girl over here does a really nice amount of damage. So if you have Abigail or Cynthia here, this will be a nice combination for you when you're fighting again in campaign and things like that. So Fiona usually is going to be used for players that don't have a good Abigail. So she's still a very good hero. I highly recommend it because creating stones in this game is really powerful. And she can be used in very different ways. Even if she's +0, she can be used in many different ways there for sure. Now the next one is a hero that sadly has been used less and less, but I think he's still pretty good. It is Deedlight. Deedlight with his ability, the thing is that his ability says that stones are gonna activate less, but since blue creates so many freaking stones, it doesn't matter because it's still gonna activate. So when you actually do that, you're gonna do a lot more damage, especially for Intruder boss and other bosses. He can help you out a lot in that situation. So you're definitely gonna want to bring in more heroes that produce stones like this, and so you can do it like this as well. So this is like one of the cool teams for Intruder boss that you can actually use. Deedlight is going to go off every turn. Deedlight here, his son, is going to do so because all those stones are going to activate, and when they activate, that his ability is going to activate. It's going to do a bunch of damage. So if you're having problems getting Intruder boss to higher levels of damage, he can definitely help you out for sure a lot. Alright, remember when you're using Deedlight, it's not recommended to use it versus an opponent that uses shields. So that's pretty much all teams. All teams usually they use shield weapons, and that's gonna hinder you a lot in that situation when you use him on the attack. In the past, he used to be used on defense as the whip holder, but since he's a slow hero, it's not really recommended in my opinion. But that's pretty much a straightforward combination. Just make sure that your enemy doesn't have a lot of shields on PvP. And versus bosses, you can bring him in every single time. If the boss has just shields, you can bring in your cooldown to break the shields and then activate every single other ability and then throw in the stones. When you throw the stones, you're gonna see a lot of damage activate there. So very powerful stuff, guys. So next one is Irelia. Irelia, ever since the beginning of the game, she was a must-have hero. And the past, everybody wanted Irelia. Irelia was just doing so many things, but Slowly but surely, she has been being used less and less and less, so she's not a must-have hero now in that situation. However, she still has her uses. Like on defense, you usually can put her like this, and Malfort, Thor. Pretty much in the shield team, you can actually put her there. In different combinations. Let's see here. So something like this maybe can definitely work, because you're going to create shields in that situation right off the bat because of her faction. And usually you're going to use her to grab the bow over here to give energy to the team. And they're going to create a bunch of shields, and it's going to be pretty difficult for the team to actually, in that situation. However, you can actually add in Haroth for sure. Haroth in shield teams is pretty disgusting. But usually she's going to serve it like this. But if you want to use her on the attack, Gwendolyn opens so many doors, it's not even funny. You can bring her in and use her in that situation, because every single hit is going to activate the ability for Gwendolyn. If you have her upgraded a little bit higher, like at +1 and so, especially at +5, if you bring in Aurelia, and every single shot is going to activate that ability, so that's pretty powerful, even on these days for sure. So Aurelia, she's a very cool hero to have. Her weapon is disgusting. Let's see, pretty much it. The thing is that Aurelia has been used so little lately, but if you really need to use her, make sure to not use her against Thor, please, because every single time a shield breaks, she's gonna create another shield on top of that, and she shoots so many times. It's not gonna help you for sure then in that situation. Now, this hero here has so many combinations, so many teams. For sure. This is the few must-haves, even in the +0, that you need to have in your teams. So, we used to use the Alden team in the past, which used to work very well. Really recently, it's not working very well, but if you want to use it, you can still try that team for sure. He's in some variations of the Infinite team. He is used. Let me show you here something like this. Alia has to be here. Or are you Alden? In this variation, for example, there's so many ways you can actually use the Infinite team, guys. So in this situation, pretty much Abigail's gonna go off twice. If she's +1, she's gonna create a bunch of stones in that situation. So yeah. That's pretty powerful, guys, for sure. Very, very powerful stuff. The other variations that I've seen, which I haven't actually seen recently, but it's still pretty viable in my opinion, is Lupita with her own weapon. If you have her weapon at +3 with Volos, she still does incredible amounts of damage. And I've seen it also on defense, and defense is pretty disgusting. But again, it's been used less and less in that situation. But the main combination that you're going to see over with Volos on the attack on PvP is going to be Abigail with Volos. This combination is absolutely disgusting, guys. Absolutely disgusting. I've used it many times. Even this guy at +0, just make sure to put him a shield weapon. At +0, with Abigail. It is amazing to watch. It's highly powerful. Highly recommended to you in this situation. There's a few other combos that you can actually use. For example, if you're free to play, and you have a weak Deed Light, you can bring in Deed Light, and pretty much any hero that is Light Tower, you want to get that hero to go off many times there. So very, very cool stuff, guys. Highly recommend to use this guy in different combos. Now, one of my favorite heroes, and this is a must-have hero for sure, is Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn even at +0, she's so powerful. It's not even funny. I had her at +0 for so long. I finally got her to +1 when she was available, and I still haven't stopped using her. She is just that powerful. Any team that you actually use her that does damage is going to actually do a bunch of things. However, me personally, I like to put her next to Gunoff because mine is pretty weak in that situation. And I usually use a team like this on the attack. So remember, you can get this weapon for free, guys. This is, yeah, this is a pretty good, cool weapon to have for sure to get those stones up. So yeah, I usually use a setup like this when I'm attacking, and it's usually as long as these two gals survive, and this guy, well, this guy can die if need be, but as long as these two guys, these two gals survive, yeah, it's enough there. But the main thing is that Gwendolyn, you're going to bring her in when you actually want to do extra damage in general. So usually I would do combinations with heroes that do damage. Like with this guy over here. If you have her +5 with this guy, as I mentioned, is pretty powerful. But usually you're going to see a lot of her going off first and then Abigail going twice, which is absolutely disgusting. Another combination, if you have her upgraded and things like that, Wanda's pretty good for her as well, because she's going to hit so many times. Hitting so many times and making her passive do extra damage to the enemy is going to be monumental in general. But make sure that you have an Alia to be able to dispel Mildred, because Mildred is going to give you a lot of problems if you don't well, not dispel, you cleanse the debuff for Mildred, so you actually need Alia first. So make sure to activate the Alia first and then do all your shenanigans versus Mildred. If not, you're gonna get killed, so please please do like don't do like that. She does work well also with Deet Light. He's pretty amazing in that situation as well, because in that situation, she's gonna go. You activate her first, and Deet Light's gonna activate her ability, and she's doing between 25 to 50% additional damage to those two targets. So yeah, pretty powerful stuff, guys. On defense, she is also disgusting. As I already mentioned, this guy with her is pretty disgusting. Agony, especially his +5, or at least +3. +3 is a good one. +3, and on top of that, you use his weapon, her going off, and then him going off. That will usually one-shot your opponents right off the bat. It's pretty disgusting stuff, guys. Very, very powerful combination there. Let's see. Pretty much any team that you actually want to raise if you have her at +5, of course, you want to raise the crit and the damage. I've seen her use it with Belnos. Belnos at +5 with her own weapon. In that situation, I don't think you needed her to be +5 with her weapon. But the main thing is that Gwendolyn needs to be +5. She gives crit and crit damage, and Belnos with her own weapon, when she goes off, the amount of damage that combination does is absolutely disgusting, guys. Because her own weapon is going to give crit and crit damage and crit, and you're going to get crit and crit damage on top of that with Abigail +5. So very powerful combination. As long as you have a Belnos's weapon on her in that situation. So there's many other combinations you can use with Gwendolyn. You just bring Gwendolyn, and any hero that after that starts doing damage. It's pretty disgusting, guys. But those are the ones that, yeah, she's pretty crazy on defense, guys, as well, for sure. So Abigail, I've mentioned her so many times because she is just that good, guys. She's another must-have. For sure. She does so much damage. It's not even funny. She does so much damage that she straight up replace a Wanda in terms of damage. But she does so many things. She does spells and things like that. So for sure, the main combination you're gonna see with her is Volos. If we're ever a little bit higher, like a +5, she has her own combo. She does so many things on her own. She's gonna be your dispeller. She's gonna heal. She's going to buff your entire team. It's pretty amazing, guys. Super incredible stuff, guys. But usually combinations. For combination, because usually she's going to in certain situations she can be used as a dispeller. You activate her first, and then you bring in a hero that does damage like this, and other heroes in general. On defense, I've seen her on a mono blue team, but that's for people that have her at +5. At +5, she is pretty cool. However, her abilities for creating stones and things like that is pretty much useless on defense. But usually you're going to see a team like this. Where are you, Alia? And would be something more like this. Her over here. Something more like this. That's going to raise the crit. And also that's going to raise the crit damage if she actually does that. Let's see, and Deet Light over here. Something like this on defense you're going to see. And it is effective. And it is pretty powerful in that situation. And especially if you have Gun Off on that team, for sure. So, but usually on defense, I don't recommend her to use her too much. She's an amazing hero outside of defense. But if you don't have any better options, you can use her as your Dispeller. And as your Dispeller, you're going to put her more to the left side. But combinations, pretty much the ones that we are already spoken about, like this. Maybe you can use your Cool first and then use her. But the main, as I said, the main combination is definitely going to be Bubbles, making her go off twice, even at +0, +1. Yeah, that's pretty powerful, guys, for sure. Now let's talk about real quick about the 4 stars. For example, Cassandra. Yeah, with her faction, she's pretty amazing. Let's see over here. I've seen this combination so many times in the past, like this. I've seen her with Phalia as well, which is pretty amazing. Because remember that Cassandra is going to remember to activate all of your red streaks first, and then activate Cassandra. And Cassandra is going to clean the overload of every single one of your heroes. So that's the main combination you're going to see here. On defense, if you're going to use Cassandra on defense, make sure to always put her on the right side. Because this way all of your red streak heroes activate, and then she goes off. She's very fast. And when that happens, she's going to cleanse the overload for the entire team. So that's a really powerful combination. So let's see, you can do it like this. This guy over here, Haroth, you can actually add him here as well. Pretty powerful stuff, guys. Very, very good, for sure. I've been using Cassandra. I used Cassandra for so long in the past, because she is just that good with so many different teams. But even if it's not a Red Streak team, you can still bring her in as your healer / cleanser. Because remember that this hero is, since she's very fast, you can put her like a weapon, like an energy weapon on her, and it's not gonna be like nothing, because she's one of the few very fast heroes in the game. So yeah, she has so many things to offer, for sure, guys. If you have it, there's no excuse to not upgrade her. She is just that good, guys. I highly recommend you to actually get her. And you can definitely get her weapon, especially if you plan to use her on defense. Her weapon is pretty good on defense in that situation, for sure. Now, this gal over here, I've used her in the past, but the thing is that the thing with her is that the problem is with these combinations that you're going to like try to freeze the enemy is the lack of damage. You can actually bring in these heroes here and you can freeze the enemy. However, after that, if you don't do the damage, it's not going to be enough. So if you're going to actually use this combination, maybe you should bring a hero that actually does extra damage. And specifically, maybe a team like this, maybe a team like this, or Deet Light maybe here. In that situation, you're gonna freeze your enemies, but don't use this combination versus Alia, especially with her weapon, because she is going to just cleanse the freezing. So it's pretty much the same thing over and over and over in that situation. So that's the only way that I've seen her being used in that combination. Sometimes on defense, but it's not really effective in that situation. Now Survivor has been, yeah. Survivor is one of the premier heroes to hold the whip for sure in that situation. And also to if you're free to play and things like that, him on defense, he's most likely a must-have for you. that situation, because he's going to hold the whip. He's going to make so many things happen. But the main combination that people like to use is try to use him to actually freeze enemies with karma. So remember that you have to put the frozen, the freezing, I think it's called, and then activate karma to actually freeze the enemy. Once you actually do that, you're golden, guys. You're golden in that situation. But remember, don't use this versus a team that has a lot of cleansing, because it's not going to work very well for you. Now this guy over here, she surprisingly does a lot of damage, for a 4-star. So as long as you bring in a hero that that's gonna break shields, or is going to buff her, that's gonna help her out a lot to actually do a lot more damage in general in that situation. And by the way, I've heard many times that her with her weapon does so much more damage. And remember that once an enemy is frozen, so maybe she could be the missing link for you to actually try to do more damage there. Let's see, like this, something like this, maybe. And maybe in free to play, that could be an option for you in that situation. So Tygroth, I don't recommend upgrading this hero, but in general, you're going to use him to try to do more damage. You're going to raise the attack, but with this, or maybe Gwendolyn. Maybe that could be a good combination. So remember that you're gonna use him, but don't go crazy with this guy. Now this gal over here, she's not bad for sure. For free to play, she's an amazing hero. Remember, you have to, as usual, pretty much I'm repeating myself, pretty much raising her attack, breaking shields and things like that. She can definitely use there. Let's see, Harek is pretty amazing. You can same combinations there. This guy over here on defense, I've seen him in so many different ways. I'm surprised that I don't have him +4. It's weird. Usually you're going to put him on defense, usually next to heroes you want to protect, like on these two sides here in general. And he's going to be immortal for 1 turn, so that's pretty cool when you have him awakened. Pretty nice. So yeah, he's a pretty good hero on defense for sure. But usually you're going to put him in the middle of 2 heroes you really want to protect. And on defense as well. If you're having problems surviving, you can bring in him in and help you out in that situation there. This guy over here, I've rarely seen her used in that situation. But if for some reason you need your team to actually survive more, she's going to give defense for your entire team. So this combination like this is not a bad combination, because you're going to bring in the attack, she's going to bring in the defense, and then you can actually bring in other heroes that can actually do a bunch of damage, and she can help you out survive, maybe in long fights. But usually you're not going to bring her in so much. However, in different situations, maybe you can definitely do a combination like that for sure. Alright guys, so I think that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, if you have any other concerns, if you think I made a mistake here, or you have another combo you want to talk about, let's talk about it in the comments, guys. Alright, thank you very much for watching. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.